Hi, and welcome, Mr. Alexander.
Thank you. It's a great being here.
Yes.
So let's start off with. I know you have some couple of questions for me today.
Yeah, I really want to know more about your journey and about trading. So we will start off with the first three questions about your personal background. What inspired you to start trading in the first place?
Recalling back to 2015, I think that was the first time that I actually got interesting about the financial markets and I got introduced to it. It wasn't really trading like what I'm doing today. Today, I'm more engaged into the option market, but I got introduced into the crypto market very early before it actually was popular. Throughout my father, he started looking into crypto markets and investing and showing me around like what is actually a blockchain, and it got me fascinated. It was so interesting to know like how cryptocurrencies were actually working, how blockchain could change the world like it is today, and it just got me into knowing more about all the different aspects of not just the cryptocurrency market but also the financial market in general. So I would say that was the first step I got into trading. I will never forget it because that was the first time also that I actually put money into something that I knew that could give me some value back.
That is so exciting. So your father was the one who introduced trading or crypto for you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. How is it like to have a family member that introduced it to you, and how was the process of learning from each other?
Well, recalling back at the beginning of everything, I wasn't as interested as I'm into it today. Naturally, because it was my father was teaching me, and when you're young, back then I was about 14, 13 years old. I was pretty young, and I couldn't understand all the concepts, but I did knew that like putting money into something that could give me some money back was something that I would always be interested in, right? Having someone close to me showing me the ropes was so helpful. Especially, I really appreciate it today more than anything because it really gave me an edge on knowing how the markets really react to different ways and different situations in the world. And also like more about risk management, which is a very important point in trading. Still building up that risk management because there's always more things to learn about it. But I would say that it helped a lot. Yeah, it did.
So you guys had fun with each other, or was it like frustration or something
A
like
lot of
during?
frustration. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of frustration. We did lose money. It's always about you never know what's going to happen. And it was such a new thing. So for us, it was like we didn't know where it was going, but we still believed in it. We still saw that this could be something in the future. But yeah, recalling back, there was a lot of frustration. We did fight a lot too.
Okay.
We did fight a lot. And I'm very stubborn. He was very stubborn with his ideas. It was a really good experience. Yeah.
And in what way? Like, how are you stubborn?
Well, I was more stubborn because I knew less, I would say.
Okay.
So I was very inexperienced, and I would point out things that, for example, like why would this crypto go up? For me, at 13, 14 years old.
Wait, how old were you?
13, 14.
Oh my God.
So that's when we started off with. So I was so young, and it was such a difficult way to know like what was actually gonna happen. And I got an allowance, and he was like trying to tell me like, okay, but because I had saved up a bit of my allowance, and he was telling me like, yeah, but you should believe in putting your allowance in this instead of, because I like to use it on spending other stuff, which was totally pointless and meaningless. Buying candy and all that stuff. I was very stubborn with that, choosing what would actually give me something back instead of just spending money in vain.
Well, you really got it, like the rich dad type, right? When it comes to rich dad, poor dad. So, I mean, you have heard of that book or read it?
Yeah, I heard about the book. I haven't read all the book. I did read a short copy of it through internet. And I heard a lot of comments from Rich Dad and Poor Dad. I can kind of relate to how my dad was, yeah.
All right. Oh, that's so fun. I mean, like really fun to hear about your background and some stories. So, and a question that I have, did you have a specific moment or event that made you realize trading was something for you that you wanted to pursue for long term?
It was never really something that I was like, wow, this is going to be the one thing I'm going to do for my whole life. Back then, until even right now, a lot of my focus or until just a couple of years back before I met my partner, which is you.
Yeah. Okay.
It didn't really sink into me that much. Yeah, I was always aware of the crypto market and engaged in it, trying to learn. But that was just like a hobby. At the hobby point, like everyone, maybe a lot of people invest in stocks, but they don't read or put their whole life into reading stocks or news about the stocks, but they have it on the sidelines. So it was kind of like that for me, because I did have other stuff in life as well that we're combining this with, and I thought it was fun. When it gets too serious, sometimes you lose a little bit of interest, and that's just a way because you can't find a balance.
Yeah, that's true. And but when did you realize you want to pursue this for long term?
I realized that about 3.5 years ago, when I got introduced onto some amazing people through you. I got to meet a guy that lives in Dubai, actually. Even today, it's inspired a lot when I think about it, because I didn't really think about like how cool this guy actually was, what he's actually doing. What he does is he has a really big community in a lot of different countries, with his latest project being in Philippines. And it was such inspiring to see just how he could change people's life through trading. It just got me thinking that I'm not where I want to be today. I had a lot to work on, and I still do. And it was like a very emotional situation for me, because I knew that I could reach much more than I had done in my life, especially because life goes so fast. Trading was a way out for me there. I could see the outcome. I could see that maybe I could change my life through trading if I could just learn how to apply it in the right way and really put my heart in it.
Okay, so you wanted to, and then you realized that you want to give your best and your all into it.
Yeah.
Okay, that is really good answer. The next question is that how did your background, education, life experiences, or career shape your trading mindset? And we could add one more is about hobby as well. Like how your hobby or education or background shape your mindsets when it comes to trading.
Well, thinking back, there wasn't a lot of things that could shape my trading psychology as much as training did. For me, I always been a very active guy. I used to compete a lot in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in an international level. I used to compete like everywhere in the world, even to the World Championship. The one thing that always been stuck on me is being training every day to keep my focus and keep my clarity, to find peace in myself. Because with trading, you have to find a balance. If you can't find that balance, you won't be able to succeed in the trading market, because it's a lot about psychology. So for me, training did a lot for me. And naturally having a routine that was suitable for my lifestyle. That's something I believe a lot of people have a difficulty with, is finding a lifestyle that is suitable, combining all the things that you want to do, because trading isn't just about trading. It's about living your life in the way that you want to live, right?
Yeah.
So you're supposed to diverse the different things that you like. And just answering the question, I think that trading, what made my trading better and my skill set improve was actually the going up every morning, go and train, focus on maybe applying some technical analysis, maybe, but then trying to not always think about it. And meditate would always sometimes help me, but that comes back and forth.
All right. Do you want to train on your skill when it comes to or keep the discipline with the meditation part?
Definitely. I think meditation helps a lot. I realized that myself a little bit later, actually, just this year, how much I've been applying it more and more, especially because it tells me just relax and clear out my mind. A lot of people think that meditation is just about sitting down and trying to close your eyes and just empty your mind, right? But it's not always that easy, because, I heard from a previous video that you get about like 70,000 ideas of minds all throughout the day. Imagine you're trying to clear out your mind out of those 70,000 times. Never happen, right? But you can always try to reflect on them and let them go one by one. And that way you will always think about the important things, but you will also be able to accept them and then put them behind for a moment.
And also maybe change to a new thought or new thoughts and new pattern might occur in your real life too.
Yeah, definitely think applying meditation would help a lot into your trading and your psychology and mindset and general focus.
And really cool that you competed with within the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay. And
you should know this.
Yeah, but I'm trying to interview you. Okay, so what were the biggest challenges you faced when you first started trading?
When I started trading seriously, because I was like going back and forth, maybe 3.5 years ago was when I actually started off. But I put my serious mind into it just like 1.5 year back. And it's been a journey, I can say, because it's a different thing just doing it as a hobby and trying to really like understand the concept of what trading actually is, because there is a lot to learn and you will never really cover everything. That's almost impossible. It's a whole life, and that is the journey I've chosen right now. It's actually to learn about it. And my learning curve, I would say that I heard this one thing from a person that I met in Thailand. Maybe a year back. I was in Thailand there for a month for a vacation. And we met this really cool trading group called BTC. Amazing guys, so welcoming. And we appreciate a lot being welcomed. So good. We had such a good time with that group. They showed us around. We met a lot of cool people that succeeded in trading from very poor backgrounds, but they made it so good. And that's also something that's really inspiring.
People that really started from zero.
People that started from zero and I practically had nothing. Then again, I met this guy there who is one of the leaders there in this community. And he was saying that the learning curve should be when you actually see result is after 8 months. That's the mark that they had, or when you actually should be able to start trading and being able to actually get something back from the time invested in it. So I thought to myself, 8 months should be the time frame that I should have to actually be able to at least know more than just the basics, to be able to know and survive in the market. So that would be my learning curve, I would say.
All right. So the biggest challenge in this, what would you say?
The biggest challenge for me was being able to stay disciplined, to be willing to learn all these new concepts, learning about the markets, sitting down every day, and actually putting down those 3-4 hours, because it wasn't just 1 hour. I used to put 3-4 hours actually every day during this 8 months to learn.
And you worked full time?
I worked full time at the same time. So maybe I woke up at train at between 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then I went to work, and I was getting really bad paid, to be honest. In this, I was working for a bank and I was helping people getting loans, collecting their loans and helping them apply for better interest rates for their loans. So I used to work to very late. I remember I was working to like 17, 18 p.m. And then from there, I had to go back home, and fix food. And then I would sit down and I would start doing my technical analysis and back testing. It takes a lot of time, especially when you have a 9 to 5 and you're trying to learn something new on the sidelines. And I was also studying at the same time. It was a lot to get in, but I believe that that's also what made me break through and what made me get to where I am right now with the trading. Even though I have a lot to learn, I can say I'm very proudly that I learned so much, and I'm very proud for my journey and the results that I've made.
Wow, that's so inspiring. Would you say that the journey of, you basically put yourself into a situation that you don't even have a choice to get out of, to choose to become that person, and you get so disciplined because you didn't even have time to just go and chill. You put into work, trading, and studying, and with this is like for university, right?
Yeah.
So your goal was it to become disciplined?
Yeah. So partially it was finding discipline in my routine and what I do, but also it was like a challenge for me. And that's where I'm getting to the exciting part, because I'm like this type of individual that when you face and struggle and you have a lot of things in life that doesn't just only take time, but these are things that you care about, that you actually want to improve in. You must face reality sometimes that it's going to be tough, because if there are things that you want to be good at, you will have to put in your time, and you're going to be tired. And I was tired. But you can break through from that moment when you're tired. Just do it and put in those time, and you will feel that you're not going to be as tired anymore when you actually sit down and you decide to do it.
Okay. Okay. I think we got the key there. Thank you. And our next question is, what was your very first trade and how did it go?
My first trade. Let me take a sip for that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my first trade, I can't really remember my first one, but I did remember that I made my first trade was in Thailand.
Okay.
And no, it was not in Thailand. My first trade was, that's also when I broke through.
When was
I remember that one. It was December. And I think it was 2022.
Okay.
The end of 2022 into 2023. Yeah, that must have been it.
When you started with option trading.
When I started with option trading, and we were trading gold, and we were holding a position, and we were following this guy from Denmark, which he's an amazing and really nice guy. He did know his stuff, made a lot of money into trading before, but maybe just that day wasn't his day. And a very frustrating night for me, because I remember that I was holding a position for like minus 3,000 points. For those that don't know, that's the normal stop loss, meaning the amount of points loss that you take before a trade exits by itself automatically is 500. I was holding like 3,000 minus.
Okay.
Or more. And
because you believed that it would...
I believed that it would go up.
Was it up or down?
I believed that it would go down.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was the moment that gold, XAUUSD in this case, was starting to trend heavily up. Really heavily.
And I think, if I remember, it was right around 1895 before it just pushed up continuously, and then
it never stopped. All-time high all the time. And I was like, it was evening, and I was getting into a shift working as a technician in arcade center. It was a really sweaty night because I was working a shift between 18 p.m. to 1 a.m. And I remember I was running like crazy, holding my phone, watching the trade. And I was like looking at it, and I'm like just seeing how red numbers were crawling in. I was trying to keep my cool. I tried to keep my cool, but if I remember correctly, I was holding, for me, that was a lot. I was holding $1,000 minus. Then I added up another $500. No, it was $700, which was like last I could put in. And I put that in.
And you were working at the same time.
And I was working at the same time because it was hitting my stop loss.
Like margin call.
It was margin call. So I was running back into like the restroom to deposit $700 to have a little more leverage. I remember I was fixing this machine. He was holding my phone. He was saying like, dude, there is something wrong with your account. It's not red anymore. And I'm like, fixing this machine. I was so sweaty. And I'm like, grabbed my phone, and I couldn't believe it because I had just lost like $2,000 just like that. 1,700, something like that. But about 20,000 crowns. And it was like a lot for me. And I was like so mad to this guy because he was like telling us to keep on holding, keep believing in the trade. I keep believing in it. You know, I even deposited more money. But I realize now that it's not his fault, because had I known better, maybe this mistake would have happened. And
it's about knowledge.
It's about knowledge. If I had done my studies, maybe I would have a different result today.
Yeah, and make your own decision.
Exactly. It always feels better when you make your own decisions, but when someone makes this decision for you, it feels worse, because it's more difficult to accept when someone makes the decision for you than when you make it for yourself.
It's easier to always complain on another person.
It's always easier.
But it's always your own choice and decision that you click on that button.
Exactly.
When you're gonna either buy or sell, you are the person that made the decision to enter that trade.
Exactly. So looking back again to that point, I felt really devastated. But again, that was the breakthrough. But that was the thing that made me really want to learn about trading.
Okay. Do you feel like you have the understanding of how the market works?
You mean like after?
Yeah, like right after, what did you do? What did you change?
Well, what I did change was that I knew that you had to let go positions. That was like the first thing. I realized that you can't just hold a position because you believe in it. Like if you hit your stop loss, don't move your stop loss. That's just it. You just gotta take it. I know it hurts. And that's like one of the reasons that a lot of trades went astray because I used to move the stop loss a lot. You know, you move the stop loss because you don't want it to hit the stop loss. You don't want to lose that money. But that's also a part of the journey and know how to handle the market is by accepting the stop loss and finding a better position because it's just not going your way.
You need to just follow the flow and what's happening in the market and not just what you think it will do.
Exactly.
And the next one that I wanted to ask is that what you wish you had known before placing your first real money trade, which is the previous one that you talked about.
If I could choose like anything, it wouldn't be the technical. It would be the risk management and psychology. Because I feel like it's easier to get the technical done, but the psychology and the risk management is such a difficult thing because it's all about you and your emotion and how you feel. Like if you're not having a good day, you shouldn't trade. At least for me. Like I realize that days when I feel really bad or whatever is happening in my life, I shouldn't trade. Because it's just gonna affect the way and my rationality and my decision making in the trading. And it reflects a lot because trading reflects a lot of what type of person you are and the decisions you make. Even if it's just for a day, it's gonna reflect. Long term, it reflects. For a year, it's gonna reflect. So I believe that risk management and psychology would be the one thing I would like to have known.
And what in psychology that you wish you knew?
Well, when talking about psychology, I mostly from my part, understanding when to let go and when to find something new. Again, because it's not always easy to accept a loss, because once you accept a loss, you can move over. I learned this also very late when trading and you're holding a position. What happens usually is that your mind is instinctively trying to let go of that trade, right? But it's willingly knowing that you're going to lose something from it. That's the thing. So when you hit the stop loss, usually what happens is that you're automatically going to try to enter a new position and find a new opportunity, even though the opportunity might not be good at all. That part of the psychology is something that I've been working on it a lot because that's like one of the key, for me at least, key areas that made a change in my trading strategies and my overall results. Yeah.
So you learn how to lose properly.
Yeah.
And lose properly in this way means that you learn how to take losses, make it small.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
But you gotta take a loss like a champ.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. And how would you describe your trading style today? Like, do you do day trading, swing, or position trading?
A little bit of a mix. In recent, maybe 8 months, I've been focusing more on the swing part, actually, mainly because that's the strategy that's been suiting me the most. I trade with the white cow strategy, so it's a little more advanced, and a lot of people don't maybe know a lot about it because not a lot of people like to put themselves into it. But it's basically the knowledge and understanding of how the market, the money market, flows through, depending on like institutions and how they affect the market throughout it.
Okay.
So
more swing.
So more swing, basically. Yeah.
And what is the pro and cons when it comes to swing trading?
For swing trading, I would say that the pros are that you are able to hold a larger amount of points for a longer period of time. And if you understand it, it's going to be very accurate. It's going to be a lot more accurate, and you're going to have less losses, I would say, throughout the time. Let's say this, that if you lose even if you lose like three trades a week, and let's say you trade 5 days, and you trade and lose 3 days, and you win 2, you're going to get that loss streak back and with profit.
So you mean it's a higher RR?
It's a higher R.
But the win rate part might not be as good.
Exactly. But in the end, it's all about knowing what's the result in the end. Like, are you in profit or not? So that's where you see your P&L at the end of the month. P&L standing for profit and loss. Yeah. So
yeah. All right. Okay. And what's your core of your system or strategy, and what edge do you believe gives you consistent results?
I would say the one thing that's giving me consistent results is my routine. My daily routine is by, even now I'm working 9 to 5, but building it down, feels really good, at least. So what I do is that, again, I train, I keep my mind clear, I try to balance out everything that I do in life. And then at the end of the day, I start off by doing a general analysis for the week. Okay, so I look out throughout the week what is going on. And then the next day in the morning, what I do is that I check on that analysis and I redo my analysis there and I find my entries. So I do a little bit combined there, going back to the previous question, because I do swing trade, but I also find entries for like what we call the daily bias strategy. It's basically a strategy that you use during a day to find an entry that's going to be holding at least for a day. Sometimes it works for several days, but I try to keep myself throughout a 1 day's time frame.
All right. Yeah. Okay. And what role does psychology play in your system development and execution?
That's a good question. I would say that when executing your trades, you need to be rational, very rational. And you need to be absolutely secure and assured that even though like you can't doubt yourself, you need to believe in your trade, right? It can go wrong. It can go well. But
when it comes to fear,
a lot of people fear before they even apply it and they enter it. So you need to be sure that you can believe in your trade and in yourself and the time that you put in it. So that's where the psychology part comes in, because a fear is supposed to be a friend of you. Okay, it's going to be right beside you, but that's going to be your motivation. Okay, quoting that's going to be your motivation. It's not going to hold you back. Okay, fear is actually good, because if you feel fear, you know that you're losing something and you're going to be extra careful. And when you're extra careful, you're going to be more aware of the mistakes that you're coming to do or what could be the possibility of you doing. I think that's one of the part of psychology that helped me a lot, especially at the beginning. Because at the beginning, I was fearless. I was just like jumping in with additional $700 just like that onto a trade that was totally losing. There was no potential in that trade at all. But I was fearless because I didn't really understand the concept of loss, and I didn't have the psychology part built up. I hadn't developed that sense of fear yet. So now that I developed it, I'm more aware of what mistakes could actually happen, and I could apply it and be more aware also whatever my technical analysis is.
And now I really want to dive into more of your transformation and growth. And so it will be our last question.
All right.
And was there a breakthrough moment where your trading results started to become consistent?
Definitely. There's a lot of great guys there. I can start off with that. That's spoken about this before. They mentioned it a lot, that it just comes to one day. Don't know, whatever you wake up or you're sitting in front of the chart or whatever you're doing, something's going to click in you. And I wouldn't say that it was exactly like that for me. I was trying to gather everything that I actually understood. And I was asking myself, have I really understood this? What am I even doing?
Is this right? Feel lost?
Yeah, I felt kind of lost, to be honest. I was like feeling, is this right or is this wrong? Like, am I ever going to get any results from this? It was my question. And I remember that day, at the end, I was getting back from work home. I made an analysis, like a back testing, but this time I was doing it with real money. Now I'm contradicting myself, but just that time, I wasn't so sure about my trade. I was like 50-50 on that one. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I placed with real money there. I remember this one because it was so funny. Because we were getting back now from Thailand. There was something about this president that died in a helicopter crash.
Oh, like from Iran.
Yeah,
or some,
I think it
I'm
was.
not sure.
I think it was Iran's president that died in the helicopter crash. And gold had been trending all-time high, bullish. And I was awake. This happened happened at night, and I placed my order maybe around like 12, something around that before, because I was doing that technical analysis first, and then I placed it on like a sell limit. And I remember I was like going to sleep. I was a bit worried, but I was like, okay, because I placed $1,000 there. I just remember waking up like 3:50 in the morning, say it's 3:50 a.m. And I was like checking my phone, and I'm like, okay, what's happening? What's happening? And I just see that gold had dropped exactly from my sell point. And it was like that day was full downtrend. And it felt great, just understanding that this time I was on the right side. And I actually made money back on that one. And I got back from what I lost, which felt great.
Yeah. So it's more in profit than what you lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it back.
And looking back to it, I understood that just in 3 months, I could achieve this much. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then we will go to, actually, before we go, I really need to ask this question, because it's like, why do you continue to trade today? And what's your why?
My why? Well, like most of the people, trading is something that gives you an edge on having freedom. Freedom is something that I wished for in many different ways. And the word freedom is general. Like everyone seeks their own freedom. I have mine. Being able to live freely with trading, having something that I can have on the sidelines, but living with my partner, being just free from all the chains that life puts on you, being able to enjoy life, doing what you really love, and spending the time with the people that you really love. And that's my why, and inspiring people to be able to pursue the dreams the same way. Because I believe that there is no one that wants to be chained into a 9-to-5 life all their life. I think there is much more to life than just that. And even though trading might not be the one thing that's going to take you out of everything, it can be the one thing that could help a lot. It could give you that edge.
Oh, really good answer. And okay, so when we talked about future too, so where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would say that I inspired at least 1 million people to trade.
Wow.
At least 1 million people. I would like to see the people change their life like I changed mine. And pursuing the dreams and be able to talk freely about what they really want to do.
Wow.
And hopefully someday I would like to see myself living in that environment everyone dreams of.
And what kind of environment do you want? And what kind of lifestyle do you want to live in 5 years?
Well, a lot of people think I would say that a bougie lifestyle would suit me, but I'm looking more for a relaxed lifestyle.
Okay.
Thinking a lot about in Thailand. Combining Thailand, maybe Spain, have family in Spain there. So it's wonderful there when you're down there. Love Thailand too. But in the end, it comes down to you just want to be where you feel most comfortable with. Whether it's in Spain or Thailand, you should be able to choose where you want.
The location freedom.
Yeah.
And of course, with the location freedom, then you need to have money freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the finance is really important too.
And I mean, with a 9-to-5, a lot of people can, like, even now I'm studying, to be honest. I'm studying and I see a future in my studies as well. It's always good to have a plan B. But I take my trading seriously because I believe that that's going to be the one life-changing thing that's going to help me get to where I really want to be more than anything else.
I really respect your I mean, the vision and the future that you have, and I believe that you can reach it. And amazing that you also see yourself and see your own potential, what you can become and where you can reach. And so for people that are new in trading and or like haven't started yet, but they really want to know more, what would you recommend and where can they find you?
I would recommend by trying to just sit down and research. That's the one thing. Put your mind into actually be willing to learn this, to research about it. You can always find us. It's a War Funds page in Instagram where you can find both me and you. We're holding that community, which I love. We have such a great people there. And we made such a good connection with a lot of good people that are learning very fast, both from Sweden, from Thailand, so a little bit over everywhere. So it's an international group, basically, and we welcome everyone. So you're always welcome to come there if you would like to train your trading strategy or just learn about what it actually is. And find people that are like-minded like you. And me personally, I'm everywhere. You can find me wherever it's on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. You will be finding me on TikTok soon too. So I will be posting everything. I'm everywhere. So whatever you want to reach out or ask any questions, whatever it is, you can always reach out to.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for today. And
pleasure being here.
Yeah.